Hello.
Hi guys, welcome to week 3 of a Brad and a Brit's weekly design series. Today we're outside since it's beautiful November and
60 degrees,
which just doesn't happen. So we're going to be talking about a project that you might have seen through our Instagram stories or Facebook stories, or mentioned in blog posts.
Yep.
Is the wall that Matt has been building from...
Feels like years, but
yeah. Really since last fall.
No, I mean they dug it up in the fall.
Yeah.
And then it
building.
sat for the winter, and so spring really. But
yeah,
you
since
know,
the spring.
As and when I had time to do it.
Yeah, I mean he's so busy with his old hours.
I just do that, and it's tragedy. But anyway,
I just didn't know what was going on. So what was done was that there was an old culvert that was made out of granite.
Yep.
That was getting the water from the hill and just getting it down, and so the town decided to rip it up and
replace it. Yeah.
Replace it with, what is it?
It's like a poly pipe, whatever they do now. But that culvert was 150 years old or so.
Very old.
Yep.
Yeah, it was very old, and so all this stone has been just like in our front lawn for a long time, and so now we're using it, and we'll kind of just give you a little overview of what we're doing.
Yeah.
And some tips for stone building if anybody is going to try to take this on.
Yeah, be warned, it's a lot of work.
It is.
But the finished product will be well worth it.
You will be.
Yep.
Can't wait to show you.
Hi guys, so I just wanted to go over with you what I've done so far with the wall. As you can see, I built the faces, and not on the back side, but the progression you'll see on the way down through the wall, and basically you can see how the thing's going to come out, how it's going to look. Yeah, let's give you a couple of tips on how to build this wall. So I've got every so often larger stones, but they're called throfters, or I call them throfters. They're through stones, which will run from the face of the wall to the back side of the wall, and they're in this wall typically they're every 4 feet. You can go every 6 feet. It really depends on what you want to do as far as height and width and everything else. But each wall, typically every foot you rise, you'll step in an inch. So you'll have that, not camber, that's not the word I'm looking for. What is the word I'm looking for?
Level?
No, it's...
Slope.
Slope works, yeah, we'll call it slope for now. So if you look down the wall, you'll see that it's pitched backwards. Almost like a pyramid shape.
Yeah, maybe pitched.
And then that way it holds together well. And as far as stacking stones, for example, on the corner here, I've got 1, 2, 3, and then I break the seam. So typically that's kind of a rule of thumb is what you want to do. You don't want to keep stacking, because you'll end up with fissures through the wall, which will make it weaker. So that is that for now, and then we'll get into the internals of the wall with hearting, small stones, stuff like that. Okay, so now we're going to talk about hearting, which is the small pieces of stone, basically like this. If I can pull some out, I'll put them in there really well. That live inside the wall that basically hold it all together. Without those, it would shift and move and fall apart. I have seen in walls people use gravel, which is no good, because that's basically like pouring marbles in there, and marbles in a stone wall or marbles in anything to help bind something together, that's just not going to happen. So if you come closer to the wall weight, I will show everybody what I'm talking about. So
Not the leaves.
Not the leaves, excuse the leaves, we've just had fall here, so everything is down. I apologize for all the other bits of leaves and things. I've tried cleaning them up, but they just keep on coming. So here you've got a piece of hearting in the wall, and if you look down through here, you can kind of see underneath the stones how I've kind of put them in, wedged them in, locked them into place, because look, see, that's not moving, that's not going to move, and that holds all of the larger stones in place. and just creates a nice tight locked fit so the wall doesn't move. And then I'll get on to talking about capstones, which I haven't put any on yet because, as you can see, I'm a little ways from doing that. And the capstone will help lock the wall together. That is basically lock the wall together and keep some of the weather out of there too, which will help keep everything tight and together. Yeah, that's about it.
Hi guys. All right, so I'm going to talk a little bit about not the super technical stuff. So I'm going to talk about these stones right here, which were the capstones to the culvert that was underneath the ground. Matt told me all that. I did not know that before.
I'm going to just pan down so people can see those because they're kind of out of shot.
Good thing I'm not wearing my slippers this time.
That's all right, realism.
So these are, and then we decided to use the best ones for the pathway up to our front door. And then we're also using some more on a different project we'll talk to you about in the spring because it's way down the line. But these ones we're probably gonna bring in soil, not probably, we are bringing in soil to make some beds so the soil will be flush with the stones. The lip that you see right now won't be there. So those are these ones. Then everything else, all the other stones that you're seeing are stuff Matt's gonna use for the wall. And once those are up in the wall, we're gonna have 2 big flower beds.
Sorry, I'm just gonna pan this way so they can see.
No, go for it. And with a small gravel path in between on this side. And then,
pan the other way.
And then 2 flower beds with a gravel path in between on that side. And then that will be combining the beds that you see connected to the house right now. Those will not be separate. So yeah, I think that's a good kind of overview of the project.
Yeah.
All right, thanks guys.
All right, yeah, thank you.
We'll keep you updated with what happens with the project.
Yeah.
And everything like that. Thanks
Bye
for
for
tuning
now.
in. Hey, I saw those, but
No, he didn't.